To pray, there's no angels where I go. Only pieces that are broken, scattered dreams across the floor. I'm home.
Alrighty, hello everybody. This is Kirusho here. Now, whenever we last left off, everything went wrong. Midoriya, he did something that he knew was bad. However, he thought he could fix it. He thought that he could make everything better. Only to find out that he doomed his worlds. He doomed his universe, his reality, the plane of existence that he calls home. He transformed into a being known as Superman 1,000,000. Now, that is what this is. For those of you who do not know about it, it makes Superman look like an ant in comparison to this guy. It's just not funny. This is Superman to the max. I cannot begin to describe how powerful this guy is. Anyways, now, with that being said, everyone was falling. Existence collapsed, and Midoriya was just waiting for anything to happen, waiting for death, not even sure if it could take him anymore. As he does open his eyes, finding himself in the Hall of Justice, confused and, well, shocked. This is a bit weird, as he does look around to see Dr. Fate. Him just standing there, announcing to Midoriya that, well, sorry about that. He would have come in sooner, but, well, finding someone to wear the helmet was a bit hard and difficult. Along with that, he did have to try and get used to this body. It does waver at some points. Then there was just finding you. So, I believe you are aware of what is happening. Correct. Yes. But where's everyone? Where's my wife? Where's my daughter? Where's Bakugo? Where's Uraka? There's plenty of time for questions, but no, you're answering my questions now. Where are they? Well, sorry to say. But just teleporting you here and creating this place, it was difficult. As Midoriya runs forwards, almost tackling Dr. Fate, pushing him up against the wall and asking him exactly what does he mean by here. They are in the Hall of Justice. No, we are not. We are in a non-corporeal plane outside of reality, since it is turning inside out, rotting, like a corpse. Just tell me what's going on. Well, your battle against Darkseid. I had to stop it from reaching the other universes, from hurting the multiverse. However, in doing so, I cannot protect our own plane of existence. So that is where you come in. What do you mean, me? You left my wife to die. You left everyone to die. Yes, I am sorry, but if the Prime Earth is damaged, we all would have sunk into the dark. That is what this place is. This is the worst version of anything to happen. I don't think you understand that, boy. Please, I don't need a lecture from a helmet using a slave. Just to talk. I do not believe you understand. This person wanted the power. Really? Who were they? Can they take it off at any time? Dr. Fate remaining silent, as he just goes on saying that there is a way to fix their world. That is why he brought him here. Midoriya not sure what he means, announcing to him that whatever he has planned, he's on his own. Now, let me go. Let me go back to the dark. I need to die. I need to be with her. What is your obsession with that woman? Midoriya turning around, the look on his face being enough to scare Dr. Fate. Midoriya just explaining, that woman is the only person who's ever truly believed in him, when no one else could. He's saved her life. She has saved his. If it wasn't for her, he would have succumbed to the dark a long time ago. He would probably still be Umbrax. Speaking of which, Midoriya bring his hands up. His rings aren't even there anymore, but he can feel them. He can feel the powers from them. Announcing to Dr. Fate that this is bigger than that. So, if there is a way to bring them back, you said fix our world, correct? Yes, I believe so. But it will require you giving up that power. Good, I don't want it. I'm sorry? What? You heard me. I don't want it. If it means I can save everyone and bring them all back, then I'll give it up. I don't care. Really? I figured that would be a lot more difficult. Not really. Once you have an, ancient corporeal, something from the source wall type thing possess you kind of stopped caring about power. It sort of just comes to you. Apparently I'm a fucking magnet for it now. So, what are we doing? Now, Dr. Fate announces to Midoriya that they are going to find the World Forger. This being alone. They craft the worlds. They keep them lit. They make the ones in the light. And then they make our worlds. The ones that they do not like. The ones in the dark. The ones that will decay and burn. In order to keep the ones in the light alive. So, what are we doing? We're meeting our God? Not our God. Just our Creator. The one who created him. I am not too sure. However, this is very fascinating. We will have to delve into the multiverse. Are you ready for that? Now, with that being said, they begin. However, they delve into their own plane of reality and fall, just beginning to drop. As they're going down further and further, they see the remains of the world. Midoriya can see the lanterns in the distance. He can see places, even fragments of the actual Hall of Justice, along with some bodies. Midoriya doesn't recognize any of them. They're decayed. They're truly being turned into nothing. Until there is at least a light in the darkness. An orange light. It is flying towards him, smashing into multiple things but still keeping on course. As Midoriya does see it, Dr. Fate is unsure of what that is, since it's burning with a passion. And it's the only thing left. As it finally does smash into the wall they're in. Smash into the bubble. And Midoriya does see it. An orange lantern ring. Fuck. It survived. Open the portal. Open the thing, whatever. I need that ring. Well, look at you. I thought you said power comes to you. It just did. Listen, if there's a chance that I can bring everyone back, it's with that ring. I need it. Please. Dr. Fate's reluctant, opening the barrier and the ring coming in. Midoriya seeing it, as it announces Izuku Midoriya as an error message starts playing. Error, error. Izuku Midoriya, welcome to the error core. Midoriya is slipping on the ring and beginning to at least feel its power. It tries to overwhelm him, but he just holds it back, stopping it. As he doesn't change. Nothing is different. Why? Why isn't anything different? He has the power. He should be a White Lantern. I do not believe that is how it works. Whenever I used to know Hal Jordan, or, well, anyone who's become a White Lantern, they had to do something with it. They had to craft the ring, I believe. So, whenever we find the World Forger, you must ask your questions. Now, they continue on as they go on a journey. Their journey throughout the multiverse, going through it and helping out many different worlds. They help out worlds in the light, they help out worlds in the dark. This journey is almost endless until they finally do find it. After so much time of searching, so much time of looking, so many worlds to go through, Midoriya sits on the chair of knowledge, finally understanding what happened, along with who the World Forger is. After almost 20 years, he has all the information. He has everything. He knows what he needs to do. He understands this power. As he leaves, leaving Dr. Fate there. Now, he starts flying throughout space and time, trying to find the point, trying to get there, just trying to find his destination. As he reaches the Big Bang, the beginning of this universe, and he goes further. Before that, whenever the universe was just empty, like a blank slate, a blank paper, you can look around in any direction, and you cannot tell the difference between up and down, left or right, let alone the third dimension. Everything just seems like one plane of reality. His eyes think that they're playing tricks on him, but he can see the particles in the air, the dust, anything. He still sees them. He sees that these space particles are there. They are still present. Then there it is. That sound. It just keeps going. Finally arriving. Finally seeing what he needs. As he watches a man smashing away at a giant machine. And the man does look up at him. Seeing this being in a chair, with their hands up. As Midoriya does ask the question, is he the being that he seeks? Now, the World Forger answers yes. Who might he be speaking to? As Midoriya announces who he is. He was once a mortal. He was once a man who went by a name. However, the world he was born in, the world that he lived in, it was of the dark multiverse. You were responsible for creating my worlds. You were the reason why I sit here, in this chair, with my power. I am a being of unimaginable proportions. However, next to you, I'm not too sure. I would like to learn. As Midoriya stands up from the chair and pulls off the mask on his face, You can clearly see the sorrow in his eyes, all the things he's been through. His beard is just shaggy and long, along with his hair. It's very unkempt, as he introduces himself as Omega. He is Omega 1 million. That is a nickname he has earned. In my universe, I absorbed over 1 million suns, over 1 million star systems. Along with that, I was bonded with a being of unknown proportions. I then killed it, keeping its power. Then earning different titles of the color spectrum. And in my time, I've learned much. I've learned so much, traveling throughout the multiverse, just trying to find one way to bring my world back, trying to find a way to bring my daughter back, my wife. I'm a god compared to anyone. I've killed someone who lives on the 4th plane when I was born on the 3rd. I've forced my way into godhood. Yet I can't even do anything with my power. Nothing I want to. There's so much I can. I've tried living my life. But I just can't. Not without her. Not without them. I'm nothing. I've lost my willpower before. I've lost it. I've got it back. She kept that passion burning in my heart. My body. My soul. I feel like I'm missing her. Can you just please, I beg you, craft a world for me. Craft one that I lost and bring it into the light. Now, the World Forger is not convinced. One simple plea is not enough. In fact, he's been crafting worlds long before his existence. Long before Darkseid's existence. However, he is curious. You hold more than 7, 8 rings. This power, reality warping, and the chair of knowledge. Yet you do not want it. What are you? I'm a human. Or at least I was. You do know what a Superman is, right? Yes, I'm very aware. There is one in each universe that I craft. Well, our Superman died. That is where things changed. He died, I tried saving him. It didn't work. Then I died. Long story. Anyways, I just want my world back. I thought you could help me. I spent 20 years on this journey, only for nothing to come up. I've helped countless worlds, even the ones in the dark. And I haven't given up on them. I gave up on my world the moment it died. The moment my wife left my arms, the moment my child left my arms. She came back to stop everything from falling apart. Yet it just got worse. The future that she had was better than this. She doesn't even exist anymore. That's all I want. I want my family back. Please. Can you teach me? Teach me to make the world. I don't care what you do. I don't care what you do to me. Just make the world, please. Take my power, take my body, take my mind, take my soul. Just bring them back. Please. Now, this does interest the World Forger. A being of unimaginable power, who's begging just for one thing. He's begging for a life. That's it. A simple one. He doesn't want this power. He doesn't want anything. the World Forger setting down his giant hammer, and then looking at Midoriya, bending down just to see this tiny man, telling him that he will teach him to craft the world, how to shape it and create the universe. However, I do require something in exchange. Along with that, your skill will be required. Anything. You must give up your power. Done. I'm sorry. Done. I believe you do not understand the requirement of this deal. You are going to forge your lantern. Forge the White Lantern. In fact, I believe that power you have, along with those 7, is the true power of the core. Forge them all together. Then we shall speak. Now, Midoriya is confused. However, he sits back down in the chair. As soon as he does that, he immediately feels it, as the rings on his hands fly off and float directly in front of him. Midoriya using his hand and creating a hammer, along with an anvil, beginning to forge, as he begins to hammer away, smashing down over and over and over again. The World Forger watching, a curiosity, a power that should not be, exist, let alone even be comprehensible. But he's watching it be built, be forged, as Midoriya is smashing the hammer down as much power as he can, until eventually, after the next smash, you have it. Every ring he has turned into one. Midoriya has 1 ring. As soon as he puts it on, you have the picture. Midoriya is burning and coursing with power, as he asks the World Forger what next. The World Forger bringing his hand up and grabbing Midoriya, before setting him down by the forge, and explaining what needs to be done. Now, the World Forger would bring up his hammer, as Midoriya jumps down, jumping into the forge, as the forger just begins to smash away at it over and over. And Midoriya can feel it. He can feel this, overwhelming power leave him. He feels himself become mortal again, as he begins to bleed, something he hasn't done in years. He bleeds. He feels it in his mouth, his mind. He feels it in his, teeth. His nose is running. Every part of his body is being torn apart, as Midoriya lights the sigil, bringing his hand up and shouting an oath that has long since been forgotten. Now, after he does shout it, this is whenever there is an explosion. And Midoriya, he is sent on his way. He is sent into this new world, as he smashes back down on the planet, on Earth, before opening his eyes, confused. As soon as he does get up, he looks around, unsure of what happened, as he does at least hear something. He hears someone laughing and giggling, along with, another person telling her to be careful. And now, he turns to see his wife, Jiro. She's alive. Before he does run over and hold her in his arms and begins to cry, telling her that it's been so long since he's seen her. It's been forever. He can't believe it. She's back. She's alive. As she is confused, asking Midoriya exactly what does he mean. She's been here the whole time. That's kind of confusing Midori as he stumbles backwards, taking a step back for a second, asking exactly what does she mean. Her then at least smiling, and saying that she's kidding. She knows exactly what happened. He rebuilt us. Tried to, at least. Some things in here are different. This world is peaceful. The earth is back to normal. Besides, look down at your hands. Midori doing so, and seeing that he no longer has the ring. However, he still has his outfit. He's mortal again, but he still has his power. The World Forger didn't leave him. Just powerless, normal. He thought he deserved to keep his knowledge. Along with that, he's young again. He's truly himself. Before, life moves on. Eventually, Midoriya meeting with Bakugo, his old friend, and finding out what happened. He was pulled out of the Speed Force whenever the new world was made. He's been here for a bit of time. Along with that, his other kid was just born. Along with Connor. Along with Sarah being alive. Everyone's alive. Everyone he knew. Everyone he loved. Hell, it's all the same. The World Forger did something, didn't he? As Midoriya does have a message to play on his ring. I have given you a gift. I have broken a rule. I took parts of your world, your people, anything I could find on them, and I brought it here. The world is relatively the same. However, it is proper. It is whole. It is in the light. And I did leave you with your power, because I believe that you deserve it. I've seen countless worlds, countless people. And, the Spectre did give me permission to break them. The rules no longer apply. Not to you, at least. That is what he said. So, I believe that you have done well. Now, with that being said, let us cut back to you relatively later on. Later into the worlds. Roughly about 300 to 400 years later. We are back to that woman who was at the beach. Or that person, as I mentioned. They are going to be late. In fact, they've been reminiscing about what that day was. They're not sure what it meant. They're not sure how it even, is a thing. All they know is that they have these weird flashes. These weird memories. And then they appear. That one simple thing, Omega. Is that referring to Asuka Midoriya? That guy's just a legend, a myth, really. The man who pulled our world out from the dark, recreating it in his own image, as many say. Much information has been lost. However, there is very few things left. As this man is running to his school, as soon as he does arrive, he does hear about something. Long after Midoriya's passing in the world, things did change. There were rumors thrown around, along with the worshippers of Omega. They believe that he will return. In fact, it has been foretold. And at one point, it did happen, since someone else did wield that ring. And they were very secretive of themselves. Now, whenever they do arrive at the Hall of Justice or the Fortress of Solitude, they do begin to at least go through the tour and see the ring that was used. The once, powerful device, said to have gone inert, as the tour guide begins to say. This ring was one of two. The other ring, said to be used by Kyokujiro, or Burning Desire as she was once referred to, was, the partner of this man. And their children were gods. In fact, this man, he was far from human. He was human at one point, however. That all changed. As the tour goes on, and eventually this man does ask the question, what exactly why does everyone think Izuku Midoriya is going to return? The guy's been dead for a long time. Because this ring was special. In fact, both these ones were. They believed that only the users could wield them, and once they got their hands on them, they remembered their lives. In fact, it was sort of the premise behind Hawkman and Hawkwoman. They are still alive today, and they've been reincarnated before. So, we believe that the same is possible for him. The man being a bit snarky and retorting, as he does actually walk towards the display and look at this ring. It doesn't look that different from a regular, ring. It just looks a bit darker and it has an odd symbol on it. And the other ring fused to it doesn't really mean anything either, does it? But why is it calling to him? The man bringing his hand up and touching the display case. The person leading the tour turning around and shouting at the man, telling him that he has no right to touch that fragile piece of history. It is not allowed. However, the ring activates, immediately flying through the display case, smashing through it, and slipping onto the man's finger. As someone comes running into the room, a woman, as she's looking around, for the other ring slides onto her finger, and the two are covered in costumes. The man looking down at his hands in shock, and remembering who he is. He's Izuku Midoriya. How am I... It's happening again? Why is this possible? How is it? What's going on? A lot of people immediately just dropping to their knees in shock, while others are just dumbfounded. The woman walking forwards and towards Midoriya. Or this man, as she just turned to him, giving him a kiss. As this is love that lasts more than lifetimes. Midoriya, out of reflex, saying Jiro, as she does smile. And the two are reunited. Midoriya using his quirk, the one he has in his next life, to teleport them away. As they go on their way, the heroes of the world, it being announced that the man has returned once again. His third life will be well lived. And Jiro, she's along for the ride. So, with that being said, I do hope you guys enjoyed. And have an amazing night. I'll catch you guys in the next series. And holy fuck, this was a long one. Yes, I'm quite aware. 56 parts. Well, technically this is part 58, but this is the finale. Along with that, for those of you who are confused as to why they were reincarnated, like Hawkman and Hawkwoman, Nth Metal. Years ago, whenever Hawkman stabbed Midori and Jiro through the chest with a sword, the sword I said was made out of Nth Metal. And the two fell into the Lazarus pit. So, that odd combination puts them into a cycle of reincarnation, along with linking their minds with the rings and linking their souls together. Anyways, I do hope you guys enjoyed, and have an amazing day once again. And for those of you who do not like the ending, I can literally make an entire video about all the other endings I had for this series, and it would still surprise you. In fact, the original ending for this series was supposed to be a bad ending. Anyway, guys, I do hope you enjoyed. And if you guys do want to see that video about the endings, just ask. I can literally make it right after this.